Alright, so I don't know if you saw my little recap video of the set list. I was intrigued as hell by this show. I had to check it out. The download finished. I listened to it. Did have to skip a few songs. Look, it's 3:30 in the morning here. I don't have all night. Started with Mike's song. Great intro. Could have been a hell of a show opener if you were there, I would imagine. The jam was pretty good. They didn't rush to the jam, but then they got into Back on the Train. Song that's just been on the rise, as they say. That song's been kicking ass. Tonight it was just iffy. You know, the jam was alright, but then right into Weekapaug. Average Weekapaug. Cut short. Nah, I wouldn't say cut short, but just didn't go crazy with it. Just a standard Weekapaug. The band sat there, had a long conversation. It sounded like after that song you could hear the crowd going nuts. Into Wingsuit. I pretty much skipped to the jam in Wingsuit. Felt like it was going to be the end of the set or something like that. I don't know. That's how that song feels. Perhaps that's the best spot for it if they're going to play it. Into Possum. I had to skip Possum. Just how many times? You can only hear that song so many times. Same thing with Tube. No problems with Tube. I dig that song, but looked like it was only 5 minutes. I knew nothing was going to happen there. Into My Friend, My Friend. This song was badass. You know, probably didn't sound like what it would sound like if you're listening to the studio album with headphones on. But the parts that mattered were the parts that were solid, and they nailed it. The part, you know, that part about 2.5 minutes in, you just kind of like, woo, woo, and they fucking, that song's bad as fuck. They nailed it. That was probably the song of the night for me. Doesn't always have to be a big jammer, some 18-minute shit. Some nights it can just be a song like My Friend, My Friend, and tonight's that's what it was. Winterqueen went a little long for me. I was skipping through the jam a little bit. Sounded to me like it was just going to be what it's been. Beauty of a Broken Heart, that's an alright song. I listened to a few minutes of it, into David Bowie and Golgi. I had to skip a few minutes of both of them. I didn't listen to Golgi at all. I listened to the first 4 or 5 minutes of Bowie, gave it a thumbs up, and said, alright, 555. Jesus Christ, I'm looking at my notes here, and I wrote down Fishman Heavy. Nobody will ever know what that means, including me. Chalkdust Torture, now look. These Chalkdust Tortures, this is 2 in a row that went into that 15 to 20 minute range. They're just not grabbing me by the balls yet, so I'm thinking probably is what's going to happen. This is what happens with some epic Phish jams. I'm sitting down, smoked a couple doobies, I'm playing Tiger Woods, playing Tiger Woods, and all of a sudden I hear something and I look over and I see what is this, you know, and it's, oh shit, it's the Chalkdust Torture. That's usually when I discover these jams. Into Fuego. I like the intro to that song a lot, but the jams have just been whatever. Into Twist, another song. I thought we were going to get some Gordo bombs. We didn't. Circus, I skipped that song. Then it went into the much ballyhooed Piper and Rift. The Piper was really short, probably less than 5 minutes. They were working into Rift there for the last 20 seconds. They got into it, man. Rift was pretty damn good. As I complained earlier, people weren't digging that. Riff doesn't belong in the second set, they say. And by they, I just mean one fucking guy, but I didn't agree with him. I wasn't happy about that tweet. And then, yeah, that was pretty much wrapped up the show. You just call it a night right there, guys. That's what they should have done. They played Reba. I know a lot of people like Reba. I would have been like, fuck, man, do I leave right now? What's going to be the encore? I probably should have just bailed during Reba if I was at this show, because they went into character 0. Now look, you're always going to get smacked right in the face with a Jordan slam dunk type Trey going nuts on the guitar in character 0. And it happened. It was badass. I skipped right to the guitar solo in that song, and it was sweet. Loving Cup, I just wasn't doing it again. I've heard that song too many times. I've seen it live too many times. Fuck, man. So that was pretty much it. Piper Rift, giving it 2 thumbs up. My Friend, My Friend. Felt it in the taint, giving it 2 thumbs up. Good show. I'm going to be in Georgia. I hope they play My Friend, My Friend that night. Somehow if this gets back to Page, sneak it in, dude.